Hotapu everyone. This is His Royal Majesty King Ra Sumabathak Baimi, the world's first openly African black gay king. And today I wish to discuss the distinctions and similarities between the Gatekeepers movement that my throne is reviving versus the gay movement. Now, a gatekeeper corresponds to an African concept that describes their gay citizens as primarily shamans, people who guard spiritual and psychic gates. These gates are states of consciousness, states of energy, states of subtle force. When the gates are not maintained, the balance between the inner world, what's called the psychological and spiritual realms, and that with the physical world become disturbed, resulting in a lot of chaos, disorder, crime, and discrimination in societies. So we can see in this image here what I'm describing visually. This circle here would be called gatekeepers, this upper circle. This lower circle will be the modern definition of gayness. They do have an overlap. There are things that they share in common, yet they have distinctions. The main distinction is that the gatekeeper circle is a spiritual circle, which includes the physical contact between same-sex partners. The lower circle, the Western view of gayness, is preeminently a physical description, devoid of spiritual connotations. The spiritual part of being gay is really not a conversation held by people in the modern gay movement. Therefore, it becomes more about the body, about sex, about pleasure, about partying, and the physical needs of the gay community. Gatekeepers have sex like other gay people, but we define ourselves and our sexuality from a spiritual realm, a spiritual boundary condition. So that's the first important distinction. And we see here, this is old. This image is over 2,000 years old. The world's first historically documented gay couple from ancient Kemet, or we call in our system Kama'at, the soul of Ma'at. Here we have two brothers kissing. And I've seen people in the Kama'atic movement, the Kemet movement, try to argue this image away. I have a simple response to it. Well, why don't two heterosexual men who think this is just a spiritual image and not at all describing what gay people do, try it in front of us. Do this spiritual gesturing with another man so you can prove it's just spiritual. I've never had any heterosexual man take me up on that challenge. So we see the differences here and the overlap. Here we have an image from ancient Kemet. This is a male, clearly a black man here, and a black man here, or really a black god. The god Geb, shown twice. Geb is shown as the sky god of stars of astrology. These are the gates, the star gates. And here we have Geb in his earth form doing yoga. We have two men, erect and naked, exposing to each other in a spiritual context. This is one of the main symbols of gatekeepers. Here we have a force called Khnum, lord of elemental, or what we call fairy folk spirits. So this really is what makes you a gatekeeper. You use your aroused sexuality to open yourself to the universe, the stars, the cosmos, while doing yoga, and invoking the energy of the nature spirits. When I teach gay men how to become from gay to gatekeeper, many of us start as gay, but we evolve to a higher level of gay, like a super gay and uber gay, by becoming a gatekeeper through this tableau, through the secrets embedded in this image. So we have here three centers in the body. They're called, some call them tantians in the Taoist system. Tantien means something like, what it basically does, it's a area in your body, part of your chakra system, where you store and transform ashe, life force, energy. You have one down near the abdomen, genital area, called the lower transformation center, the central center, and the crystal palace or the third eye center. Now remember, becoming a gatekeeper means you have to learn to work with your sexuality. So what you learn is to take the energy of your sexual arousal to become a gatekeeper of super gay men, beyond gay, including gay, gay with powers, by arousing the sexual energy down here and moving it up to your heart. When you have sex, you should be aroused. Move that energy up to your heart and move that sexual energy from the heart up to the brain. And this is charged up by this blue wire where you inhale. When you inhale, this wire feeds with energy. When you exhale, the green wire gets flooded with energy. These are called the left and right banks of the Nile. This central line here going through these colored circles would be the Nile itself, Hapi. So when you take the electrical blue charge, combine it with the magnetic green charge, they unite here at the perineum. When they unite, they become what's called the warm charge, or Tai Chi, or Hapi, we say. Some call it Kundalini. Once you unite these two, they become a unified force called Tai Chi. This is called Yang, this is called Yin. They unite, become Tai Chi, or Sma-Tao-I, and that energy goes up into the central line, which is the line of power. When that happens, you're on your way to becoming a gatekeeper. And you learn these techniques in the teachings of the Golden Beetle here at the temple of Amun-Ra Khepera. So I teach many of these classes and will offer more explanations of this to the community, where you learn to work with your gates. Gay men need energy. We need power. And we're not getting it from the society for the most part. If we do, it's very minimal, crumbs. We can tap powers from above. We can tap powers from the universe and the earth itself to help us to open our gates, flood our community with raw life force, ashe, energy, or chi, and to begin to take over our world, command our communities, and not be commanded by other communities, build up our youth, build up our economic system, build up our culture, build up our pride. And by doing this, this is Gatekeeper's pride. We started with gay pride and we are grateful for that. But now it's time for the Black gay men to lead the gay community towards Gatekeeper pride, the pride of what we are meant to be as our calling from the universe. Dua Wen Hotepu.